Yo, welcome to Locker Code, where football is not just fantasy, but our reality, where you can express your excitement, your tensions, or even frustrations about the games, your team, your league, and performances of players. Let's go! Yo, welcome back. What's good?
What's good, man? Just me and you today, huh?
Yeah, man, that boy went out on that trip.
Yeah.
What is
In the
that?
boonies, in the boondocks.
Get out trip, yo.
Yeah, get out trip. Hopefully he's safe. We haven't heard from him in about 24, 48 hours.
Dude, he hit me up like I was speaking to him, man, and dude was like, he was talking to me, and then all of a sudden the whole thing just went off, right? It lost connection and everything, and I was like, yo, I think he gone, man.
Yeah.
I think he fell in that sinking hole, bro.
Hopefully he's fine, man. Hopefully he's fine. It is Thanksgiving. Happy Thanksgiving to everyone out there, all the fans out there, all the people that support. We definitely appreciate it. You want to kick things off, C?
Yeah, man. So this is cool, man. How was the weekend, man? Obviously, we want to talk about how the weekend was. I know last weekend, Ren's birthday. You still on vacation, man. So how was your weekend going?
My weekend was good, man. It was very relaxing. Watched some really good movies on Netflix. If anyone wants to see some good movies, The Impossible. These are all based on true stories as well, which is based on the tsunami. Free Estate, which was based on civil rights and the Civil War. Really good movie. And The Defiance, which was four brothers that helped a lot of refugees, Jewish, against the Nazis. So definitely some historical movies, and they're really good. So definitely want to check that out.
You just been
how was his birthday?
You just been a movie critic this whole weekend, huh?
Yeah, man. I haven't really gotten a chance to really sit back and relax and do the things that normal people do, like watch a movie on Netflix. So kind of ecstatic about stuff like that.
I got you, man. No, over the weekend, man, it was cool, man. Obviously, Ren's birthday weekend. Obviously, you were out of town, so we was on a boat. On a boat. So
I heard it was very emotional. I heard.
Yeah, I don't want to.
The homie gave an emotional speech.
Yeah, I don't want to put him out right now since he ain't here, but a couple of tears dropped off of him right now. You know what I'm saying? So a couple of tears dropped off of him. You know what I'm saying? By the way, I just want to let everybody know, because we had that conversation. He is not 50. We were just playing around. He got 10 more years to hit 50, so he is 40 years old.
Yeah, he didn't turn 25 twice. He just turned 20 twice.
Just for right now, yo. You know what I'm saying? So, but one of the things is, man, for his birthday, it was cool, man. It was real chill. Their closest friends, obviously, you were supposed to make it, but you're on vacation and whatnot. But everybody was really cool, man. It was very emotional. You just like you were just enjoyable, man. And I, one of the things, you know how Ren is, man. Just man, Ren has always been a cool dude, man. He's just more than, just business and personal, like, work history and everything like that, man. He's now, became a friend and became a brother, you know what I'm saying? So definitely appreciate him, and big ups to him, and happy birthday, and wish him all the best. Obviously not in fantasy football. But definitely, even for Thanksgiving, man, I'm just thankful for all you guys, man. Just thankful for the Locker Code family, just family in general. Without you guys, man, this Locker Code would not exist. You know what I'm saying? So,
absolutely. So yeah, definitely, I wasn't there, but I do want to say that I appreciate Ren a lot. He's one of those people, not just a friend or a family, but one of those people who he's the most kind-hearted, most giving persons you'll ever come across in life, and you can't say that about a lot of people. So I wish him many blessings to continue to come his way. Shout out to him and the fam, enjoying their weekend this weekend, or enjoying their Thanksgiving. I know we were talking about it a little before the show, but that one thing that we're thankful for, one thing that I'm thankful for is, to be a father, and for my son. the best blessing that I've ever received. So I'm thankful for that journey and continuing to go through that journey of fatherhood. What about you?
Oh man, same thing, man. Just you know me, I got two. So I got my 9-year-old son, and then obviously my 3-year-old daughter that thinks she's currently 18 right now. So she takes everything over, you know. So I'm thankful for her, man. I'm thankful for my son, him playing ball and working hard and making sure that he got all A's in school. And just grateful just to have that opportunity to put him in there. You know what I'm saying? And I know there's a lot of situations out there in life right now. And so I wish everyone the best, and I wish everyone the best, a great Thanksgiving weekend. And my prayers out to the families that can't celebrate it like, we're celebrating it right now. You know what I'm saying? And hopefully blessings just come around that corner and, pull everybody out of this dark hole that we're in next year.
Yeah, absolutely, man. Absolutely.
So that's what I'm thankful for this year, man. But yeah, also Locker Co family too, man. Just, for you guys listening and so on, man. So it's pretty cool.
Yeah, it's definitely it's a getaway, like just doing the show is something I look forward to every Wednesday.
Yeah, man.
And I, linking up with you guys and rocking out doing the show. It's a pressure. It's a relief,
Oh yeah. Just got to take that up. I mean, plus we usually always do it like in a cooler, like Walker cooler. You know what I mean? Just like trash out there. So you're like, yo, we gonna just go talk trash on live now. Yo, man. But let's go ahead and start news, man. See where we at right now, man. Yo, I love this beat, man. Yo, so the Ravens, bro. It's been kind of crazy with the Ravens. J.K. Dobbins and Mark Ingram have COVID.
Yeah, so obviously fans know by now that the game was been postponed from that should have been happening today. So the game is going to potentially be on Sunday, but that's also up in the air. So hopefully, I know we were touching on it a little before. Hopefully the game is postponed until week 18. For people who like for myself, having Lamar Jackson, who is my, quarterback to go up against the Pittsburgh Steelers. I need a win this week. I don't want to see that. So
see him.
If they postpone the game even further to week 18 where it has no fantasy impact, I'm fine with that.
Yo, dude, I'm good. I played Ren this week, man, and we're all, we're going to talk about where we're at in record for fantasy league, but man, it's a close week. It's just a close game, man. So I need Ren to lose in all counts, bro. So I think he has J.K. Dobbins on the squad right now.
Yeah.
And he has Ben. So I definitely don't need him to play. I know he going to play Cam Newton, but I also need Cam to have like a bad game, but that boy whole roster looked like Memorial Hospital.
Yeah, so with those two players having COVID, I know that they're continuously doing tests throughout this week. So there is a possibility that more players on the Ravens can get COVID or maybe diagnosed with COVID further into the week. So it's definitely something you want to keep your eye out for. Like I said, there is a possibility that the game may not even play on Sunday. So we just got to wait and see.
Man, they said there was 19 cases, bro.
How much?
19 cases.
Yeah.
That is crazy. It was off of a staff
So
member.
when you think about it, Dobbins and Mark Ingram had to have been playing that game with the virus.
100.
Yeah, 100. So when you think about it, everybody has been exposed. It's just who has it and who doesn't at this point. Well, who gets diagnosed with it and who doesn't. So
yeah, so we got Bengals, man. Bengals quarterback Burrow suffers a torn ACL and MCL in the left knee.
Yeah, man, it's sad to see him go down. Definitely playing like a top two. Him and Herbert, I'll give Herbert the edge, but he definitely looked good this year as a rookie quarterback, and it's sad to see him go down. And I know he's going to come back stronger next year, but he has a lot of promise in the NFL.
Yeah, man, he started to look good.
He's looked real good.
Nah, it's not it. This is not it for him. But then he started to look good. I don't know what they're going to do as far as wide receivers go, right? Because, man, AJ, I don't know what he's out there for. I don't know what AJ Green's out there for.
I think what they need to do with that team is more so build. Mixon hasn't had a good year. I don't know what it is. I think they need to work on that offensive line for Mixon and for Burrow when he gets back. So hopefully they can invest in that in this offseason and continue to build that offensive line. And I think that will make them a better offensive team if they work on that, because they have the pieces. Higgins is a good receiver. Tyler Boyd is a good receiver. So I don't think with AJ not really being AJ, he is up in age. I think he's 31, 32 now.
Yeah,
yeah. So
this is AJ's last year.
Yeah, so I don't think a receivers is what they really need. I think they need to build that offensive line.
Yeah. I was actually surprised they re-signed him, to be honest with you, but it is what it is.
Yeah.
We got Sunday's Tua benching, man. What do you think about that? What do you feel about that, man? I know you're not a Dolphins fan, and I know you're a Tampa Bay Buccaneers fan, and all that lovely stuff, and but what do you feel about that?
Tua hasn't looked like a top draft pick, in all honesty. I know some people may disagree with that. He did have a throw last week that looked. Not a lot of quarterbacks to make that pass, that touchdown to Devontae Parker.
That was a sharp pass.
I don't think it's the skill set and the ability. When I say he hasn't looked like a top draft pick, I think it's confidence and basically knowing the system and feeling like you're the captain and you're running the show.
Right.
So I don't really support the benching. I don't disagree with the benching. I more go from a standpoint where the fact that Fitzpatrick, I was about to say Fitzpatrick. Fitzpatrick is was playing well, and then you kind of distort the offense, take him out to throw Tua in there. I think it's unfair to both players. You understand what I'm saying?
I got you.
So, and now you bench Tua. So, to me, I think you need it's more from an organization standpoint. That need to work out what they're really doing.
Yeah, no, and I understand that, but I think there's time there, man. I think they got it. I think he just needs to be in that position that he keeps going into the game and keeps playing, keeps getting those reps. Like I think when in pre-production we were talking about how hey, listen, was it a smart move to take Tua out and put Fitzpatrick inside the game? Listen, Tua is the type of guy that you can take him out the game and be like, hey, listen, you're doing bad. He knows he's doing bad. All right, great. I'm going to do better next week. You know what I mean? So
yeah.
I don't think that hurts his feelings or anything like that. And I don't think it's going to be like a Trubisky situation. And honestly, they already stated that, he's the starter for next week.
Yeah.
So that's just it. But man, that's it for, our news today, man. What do you think about that, man?
Oh man, I'm good, man. Let's jump into our first quarter.
Let's get into first quarter, man. Like, yo, what the week 5 recap, man? Which game was the best games, or game that weekend that you're like, yo, you were so wild about?
So definitely that KC Raiders game. It was a part 2 from their first battle earlier this year, and Raiders had them, man. I know Raiders I think the Raiders are the only team that beat them this year, right?
Yeah.
So Raiders had them, man, and Pat Mahomes does what Pat Mahomes do.
He left too much time on the clock.
Yeah, and he won that. So hey, that's why they're Super Bowl champs. That's why he's the best quarterback in football. But Raiders are a good team.
Yeah.
The only problem is that as much as they play up to their competition, they also play down to their competition.
Yeah.
So that's something that they need to work on. But maybe some teams could look at what the Raiders did well and see how they could, build off of that for their teams going forward. But one thing I do want to say is to beat Kansas City, if you notice, the teams that pressure them are the teams that don't necessarily have the best defense, but they're putting up points. So that's what you have to do to beat KC. You have to be a team that can score the football, because your defense can only do so much to slop them and slow them down. But if you're not putting up points on the other end, it's you're never going to beat KC. So
that's the only issue with the Raiders. That's the only issue. You got to you got to put points up against these guys because they're going to go down the field. But once again, like I said before, man, I love KC's defense. Yes, the run defense is kind of horrible right now. It was the same way it was last season, right?
Yeah.
But once they get into the playoffs, it's going to be a whole different KC team. That's where the problem's going to be. Last week's game was great. It was a great game to watch. I actually thought KC would have fixed their issues and would have just trampled over the Raiders. But Raiders got their number. They know something that the rest of the league does not know right now. And they're closer to beating them than anybody else. But once again, dude, they have Patrick Mahomes. They have Patrick Mahomes. You know what I mean? That's just it. The guy is great. Patrick Mahomes, Kelsey. You got Hill on the other side, and you got multiple receivers that's coming in and out. Eventually, and like I said, I know we were talking about Bell not being put into the game plan. Bell's game plan will come. It's just it won't be until like the playoffs. That's when Bell's game plan is going to come in. That's where it's going to affect everybody else in the league. It's playoff time because you're not seeing Bell, so you don't know what to expect from him.
Exactly.
But yeah, man, great game. Actually, the other game too that I liked watching obviously was the Tennessee. I know you probably don't want to talk about it, but the Tennessee game and the Ravens game.
Yeah, the Tennessee Ravens game was actually a really good game. It's a game that the Ravens should have won. A couple mistakes on Lamar's end with his throwing and his accuracy and timing, and the type of those, a bullet pass, to Mark Andrews in the end zone instead of floating it, that would have been a touchdown. He was pretty late on hitting Hollywood Brown, Marquise Brown in the end zone, for a touchdown at one point as well. But if you look at the Ravens team and how they've been trending, because there have been so much issues on the offensive end, it's starting to affect the defense.
Yeah.
And if you notice that they're not an elite defense these past 3-4 weeks like how they've been in the middle of the season. Part of that is due to injuries, but it's also that they're on the field for so long. Yeah. The offense is too much 3 and outs.
You've been on the field too long. Once you get in the field too long, man, that's it. Defense is going to get tired. You know what I mean? So I think, man, one of the biggest issues, I know, over the summer, we talked about this in the last couple of shows, that, he was out on, summertime. He was in practicing with Hollywood Brown, trying to get him together. But I don't think that's what he needed for summer, man. Based on what they're trying to do right now, they're trying to make him a pocket passer. They're trying to make him pass the ball. I think he needed a quarterback coach to teach him how to pass the ball. That's the time that he actually needed. He didn't need to be with his receivers. He needed to know how to pass that ball. Obviously, get him better receivers, man. Like the J.K. Dobbins pick was really an interesting pick, though. I didn't think it was a smart pick to pick up that running back when you have Mark Ingram there, when you have Gus Edwards there. You had running backs there without Dobbins, right? And you could have got another receiver. They don't have a solid receiver right now.
That's where I think they went wrong as well. And to your point, that's why the running backs can't get in rhythm, because they're rotating them too much. You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So I definitely think that they should have went with a receiver. Now they're trying to bring back in Dez Bryant.
Yeah, that's how bad it is, yo. If you got to bring back Dez Bryant, you didn't have receivers in the first place.
You didn't have the receivers in the first place. So they could have gotten Justin Jefferson. You understand what I'm saying? Yeah. They could have gotten Brandon Ayuk. There's T. Higgins. There's a lot of guys, a lot of good receivers out there. I think Jerry Jeudy still on the board? I'm not sure.
No, but Jerry's out first round, because I think J.K. Dobbins was picked in the second or third round if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, but there was ample amount of receivers there that they could have gotten. So hopefully they reconstruct a little bit next year, and if you want him to pass, give him the weapons that he could pass the football.
Yeah, just give him the weapons. Give him the weapons and get him a quarterback coach.
Yeah, quarterback coach, number one.
He'll be a threat. Because that's the thing he's missing from being that Michael Vick. He can run the ball. He can throw. It's just he's not accurate. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
He doesn't
and it's certain things, his timing is off and his awareness. So if this offseason, if he could really get a quarterback coach, like you said, and work on stuff like that,
he will be a problem.
He'll be he'll be a multi-threat quarterback, not just with his legs anymore.
Yeah, he'll be a problem. So I definitely like that, man. And that game was good, too. I like the ATL and Saints game with Hill. Hill looked good, man, in that game. I did not expect that.
No, I did not expect that either. But, hey, a coach knows, right? He's the one with them in practice. So
yeah. And that means, too, to be honest with you, now that Hill plays so well, obviously he has 2-3 more games maybe, depending on how but depending on, Breeze's
Drew Brees,
ribs,
yeah, recovery, yeah.
his ribs and his recovery. I think he had 11 broken ribs. But that's going to tell you something, man. Winston may not be the quarterback there. He may
Yeah,
not be the quarterback this year.
I don't know what's going to happen with that situation. I'm still interested to see going forward what's going to happen because Hill can have a bad game and Winston gets his shot. So I'm still optimistic that they brought Winston there for a reason. I still think he's the future, the quarterback of the future. So for the Saints, so we'll see, man. Time will tell.
Yeah, man. So we're gonna get into hero and zero. You want to start this one, or should I start this one?
So I'll rock out. Hero of the week was Robert Woods, 15 targets, 12 receptions, 130 yards, and a receiving touchdown. Shout out to his counterpart in Cooper Kupp, who also put up a similar stat line. I think he had 15 targets and double-digit receptions as well. So they both had monster games against a good defense, which was Tampa Bay. And then shout out to Goff, who also looked good in that game as well. The zero for me was definitely Ronald Jones, 10 rushing attempts, 2.4 yards, and 1 target. So hopefully he has a bounce back week against KC this coming week.
I mean, I know you were raving about Woods since draft night, or even before draft.
Before draft, way before draft.
Are you comfortable with Goff, man? Like, because I see Goff, man. It's like one game he's explosive, like last week's game. Next week he's gonna be like in the 10s, 12s. Like,
yeah, I'm definitely comfortable with Goff. I think Goff is a good quarterback, and he proves it in certain games. I don't think he's an elite quarterback, and I think the scheme that they run. That system that they run is designed for Robert Woods and Cooper Kupp, and these short passes, how they move the ball, is designed at their abilities. Goff is not asked to do anything that he can't really do. So I like that offense. The problem is that it's not as explosive. They're a really good team. Their defense is really good. They could beat top teams in the league. But are they a Super Bowl contending team? So that's the question. But I think that Robert Woods and Cooper Kupp with Goff on the center, I think it's showing they're both producing. So
yeah, I agree with
12 weeks in.
I don't know if they're a Super Bowl contender right now, because of their running game. Their running game, they didn't show me anything with that running game right now.
Running game, yeah.
That running game hurts, and that tells you a lot because with who was it? Who was the running back that's in ATL right now? Gurley. With the Gurley, and even though we talked last year trash about him, how like he's not in the game, he actually had a okay season. He was just injured a lot, or he wasn't being played a lot. But their offense looked way better. Just having people assume that Gurley was going to be there or not. Right? Yeah. Nobody even knew. It was like, hey, is Gurley going to be playing, or if he's not going to be playing, what's going on? So the defenses had to play with the fact that he was going to be there or not.
Yeah.
So, but he definitely they played better last year than they're playing this year. You just don't know what you're coming up with. With me, man, my hero and zero. Finally, actually, we didn't even get to talk about what our records are, man. So, our records for NFF right now. Ren's 5-6, you're 5-6, and I'm 5-6, and we're getting down to like points.
Yeah. Right? So for the fans out there, it's everybody is a 12-man league, 12-team league.
Yep.
And everyone who is from 3rd down to 10th are either 5-6, and I think 3rd and 4th are 6-5.
Yeah.
So that's how close this league is. The only 2 people that are guaranteed a playoff spot right now are in the top 2. Everybody's in a must-win situation.
Everybody.
So it's a very, very, very competitive league. And it is going to come down to points like how it does every year.
Yeah, it's crazy, man, because it's really going to come down to points. Like I even with me, like I need to win both of my games. Easy. No issues, no anything like that. I have to win both of my games and hope my points are high just to be on like a little bit of bonus. Like, like these guys have to score. And like I said, funny thing is I play Ren this week. So realistically, I actually thought he played you next week. I can't remember who he plays next week, but He needs to lose this week. So
Yeah, it's. I'm definitely going to be watching that matchup with y'all too, man. There's a lot of matchups I'm going to be keying on this week.
Man,
But I'm highly focused on mine because the person I'm playing, I'm at the last spot in the playoff, and the person I play is right behind me, and we have almost identical points and the same record. So
yeah, so you got to watch that. I'm paranoid, man. But my hero was Zeke, man. Finally coming back this week after that bye week, which I knew was gonna happen, man. They needed to figure that offense out somehow. So Zeke had 25 fantasy points, but my zero was Hayden Hurst, man, which was really a surprise. I actually thought Hayden was gonna get some points, even when he had like an open touchdown pass. In the end zone, and Matt Ryan just threw it over. He overthrew him.
yeah, I don't know what's going on with ATL, man. Honestly, with the Falcons, it's a situation I can't understand. On paper, you have arguably the best offense in football
For years.
Yeah, So I think I wouldn't say you need to blow it up, but you need to. I know they already fired the coach, but they need to. I think it's an organization perspective, and some pieces need to change in that organization.
I mean, even if you say, "Hey, let's blow it up," how do you blow it up?
Yeah,
like what do you do? Like Julio Jones is a top receiver out there.
Calvin Ridley is a very good young receiver.
He's a young receiver, right?
Yeah, Matt Ryan is a good quarterback. So that's why I said blowing up the roster. I think they can improve the defense, but blowing up the roster is not the answer. I think the answer is the organization itself.
I think it's the organization. I think maybe you get a better offensive coordinator, and maybe you get a top defensive coordinator out there, and start getting that ball out. Because this is a passing offense, bro. It's a passing offense. We all know it. It's the defense. Can the defense stop the other team in order to allow your passing offense to throw the ball? Other than more explosive players, what's the difference between KC and defense? There's really nothing, yo. Like you said, Calvin Ridley's out there. Julio Jones is out there. Matt Ryan is out there. Todd Gurley's going to be out there. You got a capable running back. So there's really nothing there other than the offensive play calls.
Yeah.
That are horrible. And we can say that about a couple other teams like Detroit Lions, right? You're looking at, obviously Galladay's hurt. We can talk about that. But
Griffith's out with a concussion.
Yeah, but you have these players out there. I mean, Lions should have been winning. But that comes to coaching. Right?
Yeah.
Maybe that Patriots coach it's not working out. That Patriots coaching is not working out. But yeah, man. So let's get into second quarter. We got Vegas top games for week 12. Obviously, Texans and Lions are playing right now, right?
Yeah.
That's why we're doing this Thanksgiving show. As we're watching the game, man, and Houston is up 23-14. Lions had some bad plays, man. They fumbled 3 times already.
Yeah, and I know they had a pick six as well, right?
Yeah, they had a pick six. J.J. Watt just jumped in the air and just grabbed the ball and just went down the field on him, man.
Talk about a disaster, man. Lions have been a disaster this entire year.
It's crazy because both teams are ranked low in offense, ranked low in defense. It's just about who's going to do something.
Yeah.
That's all it was about, man.
In due respect, though, Deshaun Watson, for losing DeAndre Hopkins, is having a good year. I think Will Fuller is also having a good year. I'm playing against him, so let me just knock the back of this. Next thing you know, he goes off on me. He's kind of quiet right now, but he's been having a good year, and even Brandon Cooks.
I need Cooks to go off, man, but I just don't know, man. I don't. Yeah, Hopkins is gone, but like I bet you, like the organization. If it wasn't the organization, but or if it was just the GM head coach, it's like, yo, we need to trade Hopkins. It was a dumb move, man. You pay Hopkins. You pay him. Like, you got to pay him. Look at the
especially when you have a top quarterback like Deshaun Watson. Why would you not want him paired with an elite receiver? Doesn't make any sense.
It doesn't make sense. It doesn't make sense. Now you got mediocre receivers out there, and you're losing. Granted, I'm okay with them losing. It's obviously not today, right now, because it gives Dolphins a better pick. But it is what it is.
Mm-hmm.
But you got Raiders and Falcons.
Yeah, this is an interesting game. It's actually the highest scoring game on the slate, or Vegas has it as a highest scoring game. I'm not sure if it's going to be the case, man. Falcons scored 9 points last week. um, yes, we talk
Yo,
about
it's
how elite their
horrible, bro.
offense is. So yes, I do believe they're going to put up points. Raiders is obviously likes to be in shootouts, so I can see this being a shootout. But would it surprise me if Falcons score 14 or 21 points? No, because it's 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 so up in the air. But who would I definitely start? I would definitely start Josh Jacobs in this one.
Okay.
I think Carr is going to have a good game. Definitely Waller as well, and maybe even take a shot at the rookie out there, Henry Ruggs.
Okay.
And then for the Falcons end, definitely got to go with Julio if he plays. I know he has a hamstring issue. I think Calvin Ridley's supposed to be playing. I would start everybody on Falcons end. So Vegas is normally right when they say, with their points. I would give a under on this one though,
Yeah.
but it's going to be multiple
I think
touchdowns.
Vegas has it at 55. So yeah, I'm
Yeah,
definitely under on there, but I do think Falcons are. I think Falcons are going to win this game. I think that at least they're going to have a better game than they had last week. Usually when they lose, they have bounce back games, and I think this is going to be one of their bounce back games.
yeah,
Right, so I got Chargers and Bills. Vegas has it at 54 points. I don't know, man. It may be that. It may be a little over. I'm not sure, but like I said, man, the Bills are 73, right? Chargers 3-7. They're really not 3-7, man. There's a couple of games that they should have won there. I don't know if their coach is going to be there next year. I think they need to get a better offensive coach. But Justin Herbert went off, 366 yards last week and 3 touchdowns. For the year, he has 22 touchdowns and 6 interceptions, averaging at 299 yards per game. Kenyon Allen, crazy. 81 receptions, 6 touchdowns, 83.5 yards per game. Last week, Allen had 19 targets, 16 receptions, at 145 yards with 1 touchdown. Right? This guy is crazy. Obviously, we can talk about the Bills' offense. With Diggs, Diggs is explosive. 16 receptions last week, I think it was. He's on fire, right? So he's averaging what? I mean, for total season, he has 73 receptions, averaging 90 yards per game, 4 touchdowns, right? So the guy is explosive. This is explosive offense on both sides right now.
yes, yes.
The defenses are okay. This is literally almost like playing the Texans and Lions game, only just that it's the opposite of them because they're horrible.
Yeah, yeah.
So it's going to be like, hey, who is the better defense in order for us to win this game? And I don't honestly, I don't know who's going to win this game. I don't know who's going to win this game.
I think Bills are going to win, but Herbert has looked really,
Really
really,
good.
really good, man. And Keenan Allen, because of that, has looked probably the best he's ever looked. No different from when Philip Rivers was there.
Yeah,
Better
no.
if you ask me. So
Even Mike
I think,
Williams is looking good.
yeah, I think it's a good game for Herbert, for Kalen Ballage, even for Keenan Allen as well. And on the Bills end, I think they're going to put up points. So the defenses are better than the couple teams that we've mentioned so far. So I'm not sure if it's going to be that 54, but they're two explosive offense.
Yeah, I agree with you. I think Bills may come out with this, man. I think Bills have the advantage because their rush defense has had 27 sacks and 59 quarterback hits. Chargers
Yeah,
are already allowed 21 sacks, right? So
yeah.
you may be right. Bills probably is going to be that team to go for, because of that. What we got? Titans and Colts.
Yeah, so with Titans and Colts, man, interesting matchup. They played 2 weeks ago on week 10. The Colts beat them 34-17. Last week, the Colts put up 34 points as well. So in back-to-back weeks, the Colts have scored over 60 points, almost 70 points. And that I know that sounds good, right? But the problem is, from a fantasy's perspective, who do you start? So
You have no
you have
idea.
Naheem Hines, you have Pittman, They were the story 2 weeks ago when these two teams played. However, last week, Jonathan Taylor had 22 rushing attempts. Naheem Hines had a mere 6 and saw 3 targets. So he was a non-factor, almost absent from that game last week. Pittman has had touchdowns in back-to-back weeks. However, Tennessee may scheme for him this week, so you got to watch out for that. So the Colts are a great team, but not a good fantasy team because it's who do you start? There's no real key guy that leads to their fantasy success. Whereas you have Tennessee, you know that Derrick Henry is going to get 22 plus rushing attempts in this game.
Yeah.
As good as Colts defense is, top 5 in almost every category, rushing, passing, and points per game. Derrick Henry still had 103 yards 2 weeks ago. So I see him putting up over 100 yards in this one. I think that Tennessee is going to be playing from behind. So I would start Corey Davis and A.J. Brown. I think it's going to somewhat be a similar scoring game where it was 34-17 last week in Tennessee. I think that you're looking at maybe a 31, a little closer game, 31-24 game. So there is some fantasy relevance there on Colts, and I would start. I'm taking a shot at both Himes and Taylor in this one.
Okay.
I would start Pittman as well.
Well, now let me ask you a question on this one. With Henry out there, right? Do you start him?
Yeah.
You obviously have to start him, right?
You have to start. He's defense proof. Like I said, 22 rushing attempts and 103 yards last game. He didn't score a touchdown, but over 100 rushing yards.
He scored. He did score a touchdown. It was in overtime.
2 weeks ago against Colts.
Against Colts. Good. Yeah, he didn't. But now my question is to you is this is the Colts defense. So we know he played it 2 weeks ago. Do you think the Colts defense is going to change how they do the format against him? Right?
No, I think he's defense proof, man. Volume alone, him and Dalvin Cook are only 2 backs right now with over 1,000 rushing yards in the NFL. So, or for this year. So volume alone, man, he's going to get you fantasy points just off pure sheer volume. If the game gets out of hand, which I don't think necessarily will. I think Tennessee is going to play from behind, but he's still going to have that fantasy implications. Right. So I think you're fine. You could start him with comfort.
All right. So we got Seahawks and the Eagles, man. How do you feel about Seahawks? Oh, actually, how do you feel about the Eagles, man? I think the Eagles are hard. They're a shit show.
Yeah. Right now. Any defense that plays against the Eagles, if you have them, I picked Seahawks up actually.
Oh, you did? You picked the defense?
Yeah, it is the Seahawks. But Wentz is throwing. He's targeting corners and safeties. Yeah. He's targeting them and throwing the ball to them. So, I think you could start Miles Sanders in this one.
Yeah, you definitely start Miles Sanders. I don't.
Yeah, start Miles Sanders. If you want to give Fulgham a try,
last 2 weeks have been horrible for Fulgham, bro.
It's the Seahawks defense, though, and there's going to be points put up in this one. So I would start Goddard as well.
Yeah, I agree with that.
They got to win a game at some point. I'm not saying it's going to be this one. The Seahawks defense has improved these past few weeks,
right?
But it's too. I think Seahawks are going to win this game, and I think Eagles are going to be playing from behind.
Yeah, so obviously I agree with you. You start Miles Sanders. I would start Wentz too, but Fulgham it's a 50-50 because you just don't know which receiver is actually going to do good. He's been off for the last 2 weeks, but for the last 4 weeks, 2 weeks before that, he was on fire.
Yeah.
Seahawks, man, you just start any of their running backs, man. I think if Carson's in, start Carson. Whoever's in, find him, start him. Obviously Wilson, number one. Obviously DK. Obviously Lockett, right? So you want to start all these guys on the offensive side. These guys are going to eat.
Chris Carson is supposed to be playing in this game. Eagles have one of the worst rush defenses. Yep. So if he plays, make sure he's in your lineup. Also for DFS, he's a good pick.
Yeah, he's gonna eat, man. We got Cardinals and Patriots, man. Cardinals is 6-4. They faced the 4-6 Patriots, who finally got the passing attack back, man. I think Cam had 365 yards and 1 touchdown, right? Bird had 7 targets, 6 receptions, 132 yards, and 1 touchdown. Now, the problem is that when Cam throws the ball, they barely win. They don't win these games. You know what I mean? This is not the game that you actually win. It's when Cam runs the ball, they start to win games. Now, with that, last week's game, they only had, I believe, 84 yards in rushing, 84 to 89 yards in rushing last week, you know, off of 24 receptions. So now last week when was it Murray? Did Murray play? No, it was Watson. Watson played the Patriots last week, right?
Patriots, yeah.
And Watson went crazy over the Patriots, right?
Yeah, three touchdowns total, 2 throwing and 1 rushing.
Yeah, went crazy all over the Patriots. So that's what's going to happen again this week. Murray's going to go off on them. They're going to run the ball. I think this is going to be more of a running game than passing game for Cam. But you know, Cam, they don't have a Hopkins. You know, Patriots don't have a Hopkins, man. So I think Murray's going to be even. He's going to be running the ball, messing up the defense, and getting that opportunity to throw the ball. I think one of the things is that he's just explosive, man. He has the green light. Cam does not have the green light to just run around and then pass the ball. He has to make that decision. Murray has that green light. Murray can run around in the backfield for 10 minutes and they'll be like, I'll just throw it right now.
Yeah.
You know, and throw it. And that's where the problem is, because somehow Hopkins always gets open. When he scrambles, Hopkins get open. That's the issue. Kirk gets open. That's the issue. So with that game, man, I'm starting Kirk.
Definitely.
Drake is starting to do well, so I'm going back to Drake. I think they're starting to reduce Edmonds again. They need to figure out this running back situation. But go with Drake. Start Murray. On the Cam side, man, you go ahead and start Cam. James White.
Yeah, James White's a good start in this one.
As far as wide receivers, I'm not sure yet, but Myers was doing well the week before. Bird did well last week, so it's a toss up on wide receivers, like it used to be with the Patriots. It's a toss up in running backs.
Yeah.
So I'm not confident to tell you which receivers. I actually, like I said, I think it's going to be more of a running game than it is going to be a receiving game for the Patriots. So those are my lineups to start that one, man. Now, we got halftime coming up right now. Well, right now, we got halftime. We're going to talk about NBA draft, bro.
Yeah, let's rock out. NBA free agency.
We're going to talk about the free agency, right? That's way better. So we got NBA free agency, bro. Now, I can roll down a list with all the NBA free agencies that we have here, right?
Yeah.
So which one was like the one that stuck out for you the most?
So I want to say that I think, who won NBA free agency was definitely the Los Angeles Lakers. The pickups of Montrezl Harrell was huge, a huge pickup. The pickup of Marc Gasol, huge pickup. The pickup of Dennis Schroeder, huge pickup. So the champs surprisingly had the best offseason in my perspective. Yeah. And they're going to build on what they currently have. They're building that interior, that bench. Montrezl Harrell was a 6th man of the year prior. So I think it's amazing pickup for them. Bogdanovich ended up actually going to the Atlanta Hawks and not the Milwaukee Bucks. Yep. I do think that the East is going to be very tough with Brooklyn and KD coming back. The Heat added, some pieces in Avery Bradley. Yeah, man, I think it's shaping up to look like, the Greek Freak may end up in South Beach the following year.
I don't know. See, that's going too far, bro. Let's relax on that. Let's just relax on that. I don't know if he's going to leave. It makes sense right now, but they are going to have money for next year. They have money now because they traded their point guard, which was Bledsoe.
Yeah.
He went to New Orleans. Well, also, we got to talk about New Orleans. New Orleans looks kind of nice over there right now.
Yeah.
As far as
and they got Drew Holiday.
Yeah, they got Drew Holiday.
But I don't think they were supposed to get Bogdanovich and it didn't work out. He ended up going to the Hawks, but I don't think it's enough to keep Antetokounmpo. So I think he's out of there.
Here's the thing. We all know when a big time player is available at that time, he doesn't sign until the organization goes ahead and fills the squad up, right? Look at Davis right now. If Davis would have actually signed, which a lot of people don't understand this, right? You do not sign until your team has fully signed the players that they need. And then your cap money gets in there, and then they can go over, but they still got the squad already. Because if he signed first, Lakers would not have any cash to go ahead and play and pay all these other guys, right?
Yeah.
I believe Giannis is going to do the same thing, right? He's going to wait. Let them figure it out. I still have to go to my movements and see organizations. Let them figure it out. Get them a squad together, whoever is going to be free agent at that year or next year, and then see what they do.
But here's the thing: from a owner and a team standpoint, you can't sit here and wait on the player because he's going to be a free agent. So I could either trade him now and get something back for him, or lose him and have him walk for nothing.
Would you trade Giannis?
So what's going to happen? He hasn't initiated and came out, like, for example, John Wall came out and said he wants to trade. I'm not sure if Giannis is that type of guy.
Nah,
so he may not initiate it, but at some point during the off season or right into the beginning of the season, they're going to offer him that super max that he qualifies for.
Yeah.
And then if he turns down that super max, that's the answer. And then you're going to hear all these trade talks, and then it's going to be, well, who we trade him for? Do we make him? They're going to say, well, you've done this for us, so where do you want to go? Well, I want to go to Miami. Let me see if we could work out a trade with Miami, or a trade with wherever you want to go to, because they want pieces back for him in return.
Yeah, I don't know, man. I just don't see him in Miami. I don't see him leaving, but you may have a point. He may leave. But you're going to have an issue, too, because New York may come after him, too. And New York has a lot of draft picks.
They have a lot of money, but do you want to be in a situation that you're rebuilding an organization?
Oh, no, 100. I agree with you.
He's at a point in his career where he's done a lot individually. He needs that championship,
He needs to get over
it. And you only have a certain window. You're young, you're fresh, and you have a rising team that just got there. So, you could be the glory that puts them over again, All
right, 100 grand. Now, one of the players that I like, obviously, the Brandon Ingram. I like that pick. I like the Serge Ibaka pick. I think they overpaid him 2-year, $19 million, especially when Lakers got Marc Gasol for 2 years at $5.3 million, which I thought that was a great pickup, right?
Yeah.
Come off your bench, right? But they, with the Herald, the Montreal Herald fell, that pickup was awesome. It literally punched the Clippers in the mouth.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, yo, I'm going to take your best six-man player on your team, put it on my team, and you guys are going to have some problems next year. That's how
he's also, funny enough, Montreal's Arrows representatives are actually Clutch Sports. So that's how that ended up working out. So you look at it, you have LeBron, you have Anthony Davis, and now you have Montreal, all with Clutch Sports. You understand what I'm saying?
The whole Clutch team on one team. Yeah, I agree with you. Yo, I wanted to ask you one more question on this side of it, but Gordon Hayward.
Hayward, yeah.
Signed a 4-year, $120 million with Charlotte Hornets. We all know LaMelo Ball is now with the Hornets as a starting point guard, shooting guard, whatever they actually put him as. How do you like that?
He got a big contract like that?
Who, Ball?
No, Gordon Hayward.
Yeah, surprisingly, because he I guess he waived his Boston contract, which would have given him $34 million for that year.
Yeah, he didn't take the option.
And he didn't take that option. I was like, yo, there's no one that's going to pay him that much money. They didn't pay him, but they paid him $30 million.
So, with that Gordon Hayward situation, he's coming off of, that gruesome injury. And then when he came back, he was in a situation where he's playing with Jaylen Brown and Jason Tatum,
Yeah.
and it's really Jason Tatum team.
Yeah,
And
100.
both those guys play your position. They're younger. I think that in the Bobcats, the Charlotte Bobcats situation is better for him from a basketball perspective. The ball will be in his hands more. The focal point of the team will be around him more, so he can return to that all-star standard. Would I have paid him that much money? No, because I'm not saying that he can't return to form, but I would want to see it a little bit more. You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah, just a
but
little bit too much
I
money.
think he's going to be it. The best that you're going to get from him is what he was prior to injury, which is not bad, but it's not enough to get you. I'm not even sure if it will be enough to get you into the playoffs in the East, unless LaMelo has a ridiculous rookie year. So,
Yeah, I don't know who's on the rest of the squad in Charlotte. I just feel like paying him $120 million. It just feels like they're.
that was a
trying to get into the
desperate
playoffs
move
right now.
from Jordan and the
It
Bobcats.
doesn't make
out there,
sense. It doesn't make sense to me because
Yeah.
you make that move after the draft next year, right? Put some pieces together, see what you can come up with, and see. Now look at it, it's like, okay, we have a potential chance to get into the playoffs right now. So
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't agree with that. That's a ballsy move for $120 million. Since you have done moves like that before, with picking up other players. There's one player that comes into mind right now, and I can't remember the guy's name, but French guy. I can't remember his name though. But
Say that last part again.
one of the guys' name, a French player. I can't remember his name, but he used to play for Portland.
Plays for Portland. You
Yeah,
said
he used to play for Portland back in the day. I cannot remember.
Brandon Roy.
No, not Brandon Roy. He was a strong forward. Strong forward for the I can pull it up right now. Strong forward for he played for Portland and then he's on Charlotte's team right now.
I don't remember who you're talking about.
Yeah, give me a second, I'll tell you, man. But what do you think about the Brandon Ingram?
The Brandon Ingram. I mean, it's market value, man. Like, you see a lot of these young guys getting these big contracts. I think he got 160 something mil.
Yeah.
Adebayo got a 5-year extension, 163 mil. De'Aaron Fox, same thing, 160 something mil. And then Donovan Mitchell, 100 and it was something ridiculous, like 100 and a lot, like 170 plus. So I'm happy for these guys to get paid. A lot of people disagree with it. Are they worth the money? I don't think it's necessarily are they worth it or not. It's just what the market is paying for them right now, you know? So, hey, shout outs to the players unions and you know, that's why the NFL needs to have a stronger player union. You know, that's why this money is coming in. When the last collective bargaining agreement happened in the NBA, it wasn't meant to benefit those players that year or the players in the present time. It's to benefit the players of the future.
Yeah.
So that's what it's all about, man. So shout outs to CP3 and a lot of these guys that are the presidents and, you know, have the say so in this players union.
Yeah.
And CP3 is the second highest paid NBA player in the NBA.
Yeah. Now the player that I was talking about was Nicholas Batum.
Oh, Nicholas Batum. Yes,
Batum.
yes,
Sorry.
yes,
yeah. He was making $27 million.
Yeah, but
And
those
he
are
took a
those
hit.
are actually just bad contracts, man. There's a lot of bad contracts. Like right before we started the show, I was watching. I'm on Instagram, and they have this meme that with Luol Deng getting paid. He was getting paid like 18 million.
He's still getting paid.
He's still getting paid. Like Chris Bosh was still getting paid recently from the Miami Heat. The Miami Heat are actually still paying. His name is Ryan Anderson.
Yeah, Ryan
you know?
Anderson, yeah.
So like a lot of these contracts are just bad contracts.
Ryan has
you
been
know?
retired for 2 or 3 years now, bro.
Yeah, and he hasn't been in the NBA since, and he's still getting paid.
Luol Deng, they still owe him 2 years.
Yeah,
years left for
it's
like
just
$5
bad.
million each year.
It's just bad contracts, and that Gordon Hayward contract may turn out to be a bad contract.
Yeah,
we don't know.
I think it will.
It's just I mean, from an owner's perspective, I think that was a very desperate move. They want some relevancy. They got LaMelo Ball. They want to put him with a former All-Star that could return to All-Star caliber. But would I do it for 4 years, 120? Nah, I wouldn't have done it for 4 years, 120. I'd do maybe 2 years.
19?
No, I think he's worth more than 19. I would do 2 years.
I mean, 19
2
million.
years, 40 mil.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. 19 mil each year.
19 each year, yeah.
I'm not. Yeah, that's crazy to pay him $9 million or 9.5.
Yeah, but you just re up on a contract 4 years, 120. I'm laughing straight all the way to the bank.
Oh, no, you 100.
After I came off a broken leg and I haven't done anything since. That's a blessing.
No, you
where
just
you have a guy in Minnesota, Dalvin Cook, running for his life, and just you understand what I'm saying? He only getting 63 mil. So it's crazy. Funny. If I was an NFL player, every year I see this money just being thrown around, I'd be living. But you're in the wrong sport, man.
Yeah, that's all that is, man. That's all it is. That's why little man playing ball. Yo, so let's get into the third quarter, man. We got Situm or Stardom, week 12, man. The first one is Washington and Dallas. Obviously, that game is being played tonight.
Yes.
At what, 4:30, something like that today. What do you got, man?
I like that game a lot, man. I think that game is going to be a high-scoring game. It has a lot of fantasy implications. Definitely on Washington, and you want to start Scary Terry McLaurin. I would definitely give Alex Smith a start here if you need a quarterback, or if you're playing DFS and you're looking for a low percentage, a low ownership guy. That a lot of people won't be looking at. Alex Smith. I like J.D. McKessick in this one. I also like Gibson. That Dallas defense, as we know, is soft. But on Dallas's end, man, Zeke is a start. Andy Dalton, the Reds, I'm looking at him as well. I like CeeDee Lamb a lot. So those three are the who I would start on Dallas end with confidence.
I definitely agree with you on that, man. Alex Smith, man. Jeez, every time I see him play, bro, I'm scared, dude.
Yeah.
Every time, man.
He's gonna be fine.
Yeah, he'll be fine, man. He looks at this point he's gonna be fine. He's been taking a couple of hits, so he's looking good. But one of the other things too, man, just bringing up, we brought up the Burrow situation with his leg or his knee injury. Man, is it just Washington in general? Like, you just gotta. It's not about playing for Washington and getting the knee injury. It's just about playing when Washington plays against you. It's just,
but ACL is such a freak accident, man, and it's become such a common injury. I mean, it is what it is. You can bounce back for it with ease.
Man, listen, it was Joe Namath, it was Alex Smith, it was I think it was RG3,
RG3, yeah.
And then after Alex Smith, it was their backup quarterback that was in the same situation, and now Washington was playing Burrow, and Burrow got in the same situation, man. So listen, It's one of those things, man. I don't want to be a quarterback that plays against Washington or plays with Washington right now. So I'm good on that, man. Baltimore and Pitts, obviously we know it's not going to be playing tonight, right? That situation, as we talked about it earlier, is going to be playing on Sunday. Hopefully it may not play at all.
Yeah.
Right? That benefits us.
Yeah, so it could potentially be pushed to week 18 and have no fantasy implications. There's not much fantasy relevancy in that game, to be honest with you. It's going to be a grinding game.
Yeah.
I would look at
There's nobody to look at, bro.
Yeah, it's a lot because I'm even scared to start Lamar Jackson. If I have Lamar Jackson, I have, let's say this week, Aaron Rodgers or Herbert. I'm starting Herbert without a doubt, because it's that Pittsburgh defense, man. They're a beast, and it's playing in Pittsburgh.
Yeah, I agree with you.
I would give maybe Deontay Johnson a shot here if it plays. He's been getting a lot of targets, possibly James Conner, but it's two good defenses, and it's not going to be a pretty game.
Yeah, I know right now Juju, which is kind of irrelevant in fantasy football right now, unless you have a World of Dance contest that you want to enter in. But he has a foot injury right now, so he may or may not even play for next week or Sunday, because he may not have even played even Thursday, even though he complained online. All the players complain online about that, not being able to play because other teams are in COVID. Because I think this is the second time they've been in that situation.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, like I agree with you, man. You start Deontay, Claypool is in that too.
Yeah,
Their running back is in there too.
James Conner.
Yeah, Connor. Baltimore situation is really tough, man, because there's no running backs. You don't know who to start because Jackson.
If the game plays on Sunday, I would definitely start Gus Edwards. So he should get the lion's share of the work. And I assume that Lamar Jackson is going to have to use his legs a lot more in that game too.
Yeah, a lot.
Which could be a good thing.
Against Pittsburgh defense, man, it could be a bad thing.
Yeah. Knock on wood, man. That's why I don't even want the game to play, man.
It could be a bad thing for that week. Then you got Cleveland and Jacksonville, man. Cleveland game, I'm actually going to go with Cleveland on this one. Jacksonville's going to lose this one here, man. The starters are pretty straightforward. Landry, Baker Mayfield, I like him in this game. Chubbs. We got, obviously, Hunt, the two dual running backs over there. Robinson is going to be a great pick to pick up, and DJ Chark. I'm not starting Jacksonville's Jacksonville's quarterback. I'm not confident in that, but I do feel like Robinson and DJ Chark will have a good game. DJ Chark, man, has been in and out of lineups right now, so he may be in free agency or on your waiver wire, but it's a nice pickup just to make sure that he just stays in your lineup anyways.
Yeah. I think he's on. You should have him on your squad and rotate him in and out depending on which other receivers you have, or if you want to throw him in a flex position.
Yeah. Then we got New York Giants and Cincinnati, bro.
Yeah, so this matchup is not fantasy relevant either whatsoever. On Giants end, I would look at Danny Dimes in this one, Evan Ingram and Sterling Shepard. On Cincinnati end, I think Brandon Allen is going to be the starting quarterback. Yeah. But I don't know how that's going to fare with Higgins and Tyler Boyd. I'm more so lean towards the running backs in this one. I'm not even. Is Mixon playing?
They're not sure as of right now.
Yeah. Sure. So if his backup, I forgot who his backup is playing.
Bernard had a concussion, so they don't know.
Yeah. So going back to my first statement, this is not a fantasy friendly game whatsoever. So yeah, we can move on to San Francisco and
I know, I get you, man. It's like I almost like to say a Washington game, a Washington-Dallas game. It's almost non-relevant.
But even that Washington-Dallas game has a lot of fantasy
pieces,
and I could see points being put up in that. Like both teams putting up easily over 3 touchdowns. Yeah. So I just don't see that with the Cincinnati and the Giants situation.
Yeah, they're off. They're off right now. San Francisco and LA, man. You start everyone in LA.
Yeah, definitely start everyone. Start both. San Francisco's defense hasn't been what it was last year and the years past.
Everybody's hurt. Everybody's hurt on that defense, man.
Everybody's hurt. I would definitely, like you said, start Henderson, start Cooper Kupp, start Robert Woods, even start Goff.
Yeah, Reynolds is in there too. You know, so their offense is getting to the point that they're starting to play well again, like they did before, right?
Yes.
So, San Francisco side, like you said, we talked about their defense. They're not relevant anymore.
Yeah, so much injuries.
Yeah,
but they do potentially get Mostert back this week.
That's who I was going to go to. Yeah,
if he does come back, he played this team earlier. I can't remember what week it was. In our formats, PPR format, he finished with just about 13 points. They're hoping to get Telvin Coleman back as well. So if they do get these guys back, I think Wilson is as well. They're hoping to get back. If they do get the running game back, they're going to run and
all day long. I think they're going to run either way.
Yeah.
Whoever is the running back for the 49ers, they're going to run in this game.
They're
not going to pass. So Mullins played well, but I think because they're playing LA Rams, their LA Rams defense is way better, so they're going to run that ball. And Aaron Donald is coming after you.
Yep.
So that's with that one there. We got New Orleans and Denver, man. New Orleans is coming back, bro. Like I told you before, I like what Hill has done, so I'm starting Hill. I'm going to Mike Thomas, Kamara, Sanders. Judy has been playing well on Denver's side, man. I like him, but he is injured, so if he is starting, great pickup. Hamler has been playing well too. Tim Patrick has been playing well. So if Judy's out, those two guys you can pick up. And obviously Locke has been playing well, man. Obviously Locke just kind of destroyed us in Miami last week. We just didn't know how to stop them.
Yeah.
But that's who I start for Denver and New Orleans. I truly believe New Orleans is going to win that game. So, but yeah, that's it for New Orleans, man. Biggest game here, man. You got KC and Tampa Bay, bro. You know, your team and the most explosive team out there. Yeah, man. So you straight Buccaneer fan.
This is a good game to watch, and it's also going to be a good fantasy game. Both teams, I think, are going to put up a good amount of points. Tampa's defense is good, but it's not going to slow down Kansas City. So for Kansas City, obviously, start everyone. There's no one that you bench. For Tampa Bay, definitely start Mike Evans. He is Brady's favorite target. He is definitely his favorite target in the red zone. That's who he's looking at. And even on third downs to bail him out, that's who he's looking for. So Mike Evans, I would start Godwin. I would start Antonio Brown. I do think that Tampa, as I mentioned earlier, to beat Kansas City, you are going to have to put up points. With that said, with the Ronald Jones and Fournette situation, there's always that possibility that Ronald Jones could, break for a big run or something like that, but I don't think it's going to really happen. So I would lean towards Fournette in this one. I think Brady's going to need to throw the ball, and they look for Fournette more on passing downs. So I would give Fournette the edge over Ronald Jones in this one as well.
100. I think this is a great game. It's like Big Brother playing Little Brother, and Little Brother is Kansas City because they look way better than Big Brother.
Yeah,
you know what I mean, and they look good. They look good. Kansas City has a rush defense that is okay, but they got Fournette. They got Ronald Jones that are going to be able to run through that hole.
Yeah,
they secondary of Kansas City looks way better, than the Tampa Bay secondary. But Tampa Bay also has Evans. They got they have now Speed Racer with what's your boy again? I just lost my mind. His name
Antonio Brown.
Yeah, with Antonio Brown. They got Godwin if he stays in. You know what I mean? So
exactly, Tampa could come out with the mentality of, hey, that we're going to try to run this football. So it could. I don't know what their scheme is going to be, but like I said, at some point they're going to need to throw and put up points.
Yeah.
So it's so much running that you could do and hope that your defense could keep. Yeah, they'll get some 3 and outs with KC, but they're going to come a point that they'll run off 3 touchdowns in one quarter.
Oh, easy.
So
they're going to have to start throwing the ball, and I think it is going to be a shootout. As much as I'm scared to play Brady, I think this is going to be a great game for Brady to play.
It's a great game to play Brady. That's why I said this game has a lot of fantasy relevancy. There's going to be a lot of fantasy success coming from this game.
Yeah, definitely, man. We got Chicago and Green Bay, man. Rivalry game.
These games are always low-scoring games with Chicago and Green Bay. I think Green Bay wins this one. It's going to be a tough matchup for Aaron Jones.
Right.
But I think the connection with Brady and Devontae Adams would definitely happen. Maybe you see Brady and MVS as well, if he catches the football and not drop it. With Chicago, definitely start Allen Robinson. But outside of that, it's not really much going on.
Trubisky's back, though, man. Trubisky's back. Trubisky's going to be starting over Foles. He's back in the lineup. So definitely Allen Robinson. But I also think, man, do you start Trubisky?
No,
you're scared.
I'm not starting Trubisky.
Why not? I mean, Trubisky gets out of the hole. He gets out of the pocket. He runs the ball.
Green Bay is not a good defense, but at this point in the season, I hope that Trubisky is not the quarterback that you have on your roster. There's a lot of other quarterbacks this week that I would give the edge to over Trubisky. So I'm just saying, I wouldn't start Trubisky simply because I'm hoping that you have somebody else on your bench that's in a better situation.
What about tight end side for Green Bay? I believe it's Robert Tonyan, right? Do you start him? Let him relax? How do you feel about that?
Depending on who you have, again, in that position, if you have a guy like Tyler Higbee or Evan Ingram or
Well, let's say we don't. Let's say that guy doesn't have that guy, right? Let's say that guy has Tonyan and, let's say, Colts tight end.
Yeah, then, yeah, definitely. I would look at Tanyan in that situation. I think Green Bay is going to have more success throwing than running. Um, Chicago has a good rush defense, so I would give him a start.
All right, cool. We got fourth quarter, right? DFS lineup 5 for 30.
Yeah, so being that our counterpart is Art, we did do the 5 for 30 really quickly between the three of us, so that the fans have the lineups, and they could see who we pick from out there.
Right.
So I'm going to run through what the picks were. So starting with C, he had Patrick Mahomes as his quarterback, Kamara as his running back, Curtis Samuel as the wide receiver, Austin Hooper as the tight end, and James White in his flex. And he left a balance of $400. Both me and Ren exceeded or exhausted our 30,000, so we had $0 left. Ren's team that he had picked was Cam Newton as his quarterback, Dalvin Cook as his running back, Michael Pittman Jr. as his wide receiver, Hunter Henry as his tight end, and Frank Gore in the revenge game against Miami as his flex. And from my picks, as stated before, he used all 30,000. Same with myself, I used all 30,000. I had Justin Herbert as my quarterback, James Robinson as my running back, Michael Thomas as my wide receiver, Evan Ingram as my tight end, and Naheem Hines in my flex. So you want to run through the rules with them real quick, C?
Well, you know the rules more than I know, man. I'm just the guy that just plays, bro.
All right, so the rules of the 5 for 30 is as follows. It's very simple. You're picking 5 players: a quarterback, running back, wide receiver, tight end, and a flex.
Yeah.
Based on DraftKings payout structure or payment metric for what these players are ranked as, or the value of these players. So you want to pick those 5 positions, and it has to be under 30,000. The only actual rule is that you can't pick the same players that we pick. So there's ample players out there. We pick 15 of them. You can't pick any of those same 15 players. And how you post the entry, we're going to be posting this shortly after this video. We're going to post after the podcast. We're going to post the 5 for 30 R picks, and then you just go onto that in that comment section under the video or under that screenshot of the post, and you post your lineup, and that's how you enter. And then the winner does get, if you beat all 3 of us, or actually if you have the highest scoring total, higher than any one of us, you will qualify to win a free Locker Code t-shirt of your choice.
Yeah, man. Who won last week, man? Ren won last week.
Ren won last week. I think he had 90. I can't remember the exact final number, but it was over 90 points, and he won. So he beat the other participants that week.
Yeah, so
but I think the week before that, Brandon won.
Yep, Brandon. No, Jose won. The week
Jose won. Sorry,
yeah,
Jose won.
Jose won. Yo, that was kind of tough for me last week. I actually thought I won that game, bro. That was kind of upsetting. But once again, Hurst just messed me up in every league possible, even with DFS, yo. Yo, so we got waiver wire pickups, man. So I'm gonna run the list of waiver wire pickups, man. Let me know what you think about it. We got Tyson Hill, QB for the Rams.
I like that. I like that pickup. If he's available in your league and you need a quarterback, or you have a quarterback like that's in a very tough matchup and you're shaky, look into Taysom Hill.
Look into Taysom, yeah. We got Derek Carr with the Raiders. Obviously, he played KC last week, played real well. So what do you think about that guy?
Same situation like Hill if you desperately need a quarterback. But he's been shaky, man. So he has one good game, then a bad game, and then that's kind of been his story. So, and I do think that the Raiders do play up to competition. So I'm not so sold on Derek Carr.
I'm going to run through running backs and wide receivers. We got Gus Edwards Gus Edwards, excuse me. James White for the Patriots. Michael Pittman, which did great last week. Nelson Aguilar with the Raiders. Jordan Reed with the 49ers. And Robert Tonyan with the Packers.
Out of all those guys that you mentioned, I like the two backs and Gus Edwards and James White the best for this upcoming week. Obviously, with the COVID situation, with Mark Ingram and Dobbins with the Ravens, those guys are going to be out. So it's going to be the Gus show and the Lamar Jackson show as far as running the ball. So there's going to be volume there. Same thing, similar going on with the Patriots. They're going to have to throw the ball to someone to win. James White is a great check down running back, so I like that situation. Pittman is not bad. He's been playing well. He's had multiple touchdowns. He played very well against Tennessee 2 weeks ago. He's playing them again this week, so I would give him the edge over a guy like Aguilar. I'm not a fan of Jordan Reed. Keep him away from your lineup at all costs. He's just going to disappoint you. And we spoke about Tanya a little earlier. If you need a tight end, he's not a bad pick.
That's Ren boy right there, man. Jordan Reed, man.
That guy can't stay healthy. He'll give you one good quarter, and that's it.
That's it. That's done. It's done from there. So we got Locker Code Bowl predictions, man. What's your Locker Code prediction this week?
Tough one, man. Locker Code bold prediction, and I'm saying this because they need a win. Tampa beats KC.
Wow, I actually thought you were going to say Dolphins. I was just going to guess you were going to say Tampa. Didn't expect you to say Tampa.
Yeah.
Didn't expect that at all. My Locker Code bold prediction, man, it is me, bro.
You're going to beat Ren?
I'm going to beat Ren and get into the playoffs, man. My next bold predictions for the next 2 weeks is going to be
Speak it into existence,
yes,
man.
Sir.
Speak it into existence.
Yes, sir, man. That's what's going to happen for the next 2 weeks, bro. I'm going to get into this. Y'all going to stop talking trash. It's going to be done. I may just win. I'm not even going to let you know. I may just win the whole bowl, man. I may win the whole fantasy bowl and call it a day, man, and you boys not going to win nothing. You know what I mean? Y'all going to be mad.
I don't think you made the playoffs. I'm sorry.
Well, I hope you make it then. It's going to be 2 out of 3, bro. It's gonna be
hey, man, I'm over here looking at Will Fuller now got 13 fantasy points. And I'm hoping that he stops at some point.
Yeah, I need Cooks to go off, man. I need Cooks to go off.
Start throwing that ball to Cooks. I want to say, hey, if Red loses and you beat him, so be it. But as long as it ain't got, I'm so invested in what I have going on in my team right now.
Hey,
I just, Yo,
you got to vote the right way, bro. I'm that guy, yo. Yo, so that's it for Locker Code, man. Thank you again for listening to us. See Ren. Well, Ren's not here. He's on vacation, but obviously PJ. Be sure to check us out on lockercode.com for all your fantasy needs, sit and starts, waiver wire pickups, matchups, and news and more. Yeah. Shout out, bro.
Yo.
No,
shout out to the great late legend, Diego Maradona, and his passing.
Original football.
Yeah, and what he did for the sport, man, just in general, and what he did for his country, putting them on the map. So it's a lot of mourning going on in the football world as well.
Yeah.
Because it is football worldwide that we know it as. So shout out to the legend, Diego Maradona.
Yeah, man. Shout out to the family, man. Happy Thanksgiving, everybody. Shout out to the fans. Shout out to Lovely, man, for throwing my dog a great birthday party, man.
Absolutely.
Got him teared up and everything like that. I'm going to continue to say that for the next couple of weeks. So it is what it is. Yo, but shout out. Happy New Year. Merry Christmas. All that good stuff. Yo, enjoy your Thanksgiving, everybody. I appreciate the love, man. Yeah.
Always. Yeah.